Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the show, and let me tell you, 2024 is already shaping up to be, a year. It's an election year in the US, which means things are about to get real interesting, real fast. But hey, that's why we're here. Today we're diving deep into the world of Democrats, what they stand for, what they're fighting for, and why you might want to hop on board. Whether you're a die-hard Democrat, a curious independent, or just someone who accidentally clicked on this video, stick around. We're breaking down the top 5 reasons why being a Democrat in 2024 might just be your best move yet.
All right, let's kick things off with a topic close to my heart: social progress. It's a journey, not a destination, and it's something we must continually strive for. Democrats have always been on the front lines of fighting for a fairer, more just society for everyone. And trust me, that's a never-ending battle. It's about ensuring that every individual, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to thrive. We're talking about everything from championing civil rights to pushing for LGBTQ plus equality, ensuring gender equality, and basically making sure everyone has a seat at the table, no matter who they are, what they look like, or who they love. This means advocating for policies that protect and uplift these communities. Now, I know what you're thinking, Trevor. This all sounds great and noble, but what does it actually look like in practice? Well, my friend, let me tell you. It looks like communities coming together, having tough conversations, and making real changes at the grassroots level. Democrats are the ones fighting tooth and nail to protect voting rights because, let's be real, a democracy only works if everyone gets a say. This means pushing back against voter suppression and ensuring that every citizen can exercise their right to vote without barriers. They're the ones pushing for criminal justice reform because, let's face it, the system is anything but just, especially if you're a person of color. This involves addressing systemic racism, ending mass incarceration, and ensuring fair treatment for all. And let's not forget about immigration reform. It's about creating a humane and fair system that recognizes the contributions of immigrants. Democrats believe in creating a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who are just trying to build a better life. This means providing opportunities for these individuals to become fully integrated members of society. Because, America was built on immigration. Unless you were already here, then it was a different story. But that's a whole other episode. The contributions of immigrants have been foundational to the nation's growth and prosperity. The point is, Democrats are all about creating a society where everyone feels seen, heard, and respected. This involves not just policy changes, but also cultural shifts towards greater acceptance and understanding. They're fighting for policies that uplift marginalized communities because they understand that when one group is held back, we're all held back. This means addressing economic disparities, healthcare access, and educational opportunities. It's like that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. When we work together to improve conditions for the most vulnerable, we create a better society for everyone. Except in this case, it's more like, a rising tide of social justice lifts all boats, except for the yachts of bigotry and discrimination. Those can just stay sunk at the bottom of the ocean where they belong. It's about creating a world where equality and justice are the norms, not the exceptions.
Okay folks, let's talk about the big blue elephant in the room: climate change. It's the issue that's been looming over us for decades, and it's high time we address it head on. And no, I'm not talking about the Republican mascot suddenly developing a conscience. Although, wouldn't that be something? Democrats understand that climate change is not some future threat. It's happening right now, and it's affecting every single one of us. From the wildfires in California to the hurricanes in the Gulf, the evidence is all around us. That's why they're laser-focused on environmental protection and finding solutions to this global crisis. It's not just about talking the talk, it's about walking the walk. We're talking about investing in renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, which are not only sustainable but also create jobs and stimulate the economy. Because let's be honest, relying on fossil fuels is so last century. It's time to move forward with cleaner, greener alternatives. We're talking about protecting our public lands and waters, ensuring that these natural treasures are preserved for generations to come. Because who doesn't love a good national park, am I right? These are the places where we connect with nature and find peace. And we're talking about holding corporations accountable for polluting our air and water. It's about time they take responsibility for their actions. Because breathing clean air and drinking clean water shouldn't be a luxury, it should be a right. Everyone deserves a healthy environment. Democrats get that we need to act now to protect our planet for future generations. The clock is ticking, and we can't afford to wait any longer. They understand that climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's an economic issue, a social justice issue, and a national security issue. It's interconnected with every aspect of our lives. Because when rising sea levels start swallowing up coastal cities, trust me, it's going to be a whole lot harder to worry about things like the economy or national security. The impacts are far-reaching and devastating. So if you're tired of breathing polluted air, drinking bottled water that's probably just glorified tap water anyway, and watching the planet burn, then you might want to consider joining Team Democrat on this one. Together we can make a difference and ensure a sustainable future for all.
All right, let's talk about something that affects every single one of us: healthcare. It's a topic that touches every aspect of our lives, from our personal well-being to our financial stability. Now, I'm from South Africa, where we have universal healthcare, and let me tell you, it's amazing. The peace of mind that comes with knowing you can get medical help without worrying about the cost is invaluable. You get sick, you go to the doctor, you get treated, you don't go bankrupt. It's that simple. The system is designed to ensure that everyone, regardless of their financial situation, has access to the care they need. But here in America, it's a whole different story. The healthcare system is fragmented and often inaccessible to those who need it most. Democrats believe that access to affordable healthcare is a fundamental right, not a privilege reserved for the wealthy or those lucky enough to have good employer-sponsored insurance. They argue that healthcare should be a basic human right. They believe that everyone deserves access to quality healthcare, regardless of their income or pre-existing conditions. This belief is rooted in the idea that a healthy population is a productive and happy population, and they've been fighting for decades to make that a reality. From grassroots movements to legislative battles, the fight for universal healthcare has been long and arduous. Remember the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare? It was a landmark piece of legislation aimed at expanding healthcare coverage. Yeah, that was a Democrat-led initiative that expanded health insurance coverage to millions of Americans who previously didn't have it. It was a significant step forward in the quest for universal health care. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. It showed that change is possible and that the system can be improved. And Democrats are still fighting to improve it, to make it more affordable and accessible for everyone. They are constantly working on new policies and reforms to ensure that no one is left behind. Because no one should have to choose between putting food on the table and going to the doctor. The choice between health and financial stability is one that no one should have to make. No one should have to go bankrupt because they got sick. Medical debt is a leading cause of bankruptcy, and it's a problem that needs to be addressed urgently. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. It's a fundamental aspect of human dignity and equality. And Democrats are the ones fighting to make that a reality. They are committed to ensuring that every American has access to the healthcare they need, regardless of their financial situation.
Now let's talk about the economy. Because who doesn't love a good economic debate? Democrats believe in an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the very top. They believe in fair wages, good jobs, and opportunities for all Americans to succeed. They understand that when the middle class thrives, the whole country thrives. And they're fighting for policies that reflect that. We're talking about raising the minimum wage because let's be real, no one can live on $7.25 an hour. We're talking about investing in education and job training because a well-educated workforce is a strong workforce. And we're talking about supporting small businesses and entrepreneurs because they're the backbone of our economy. Democrats also understand that income inequality is a major problem in America today. They see the gap between the rich and the poor widening, and they know that's not sustainable. They're fighting for policies like progressive taxation, where the wealthy pay their fair share, and investments in social safety net programs like Social Security and Medicare, because everyone deserves a safety net. So, if you believe in an economy that works for everyone, not just the privileged few, then you might want to consider voting Democrat.
All right, Let's wrap things up with a little international relations, shall we? In a world that's increasingly interconnected, Democrats understand the importance of strong global leadership. But here's the thing. They believe in leading with diplomacy and cooperation, not threats and intimidation. They understand that America is stronger when it works with its allies to address global challenges. We're talking about tackling climate change because, as we've already established, that's a global problem that requires a global solution. We're talking about combating terrorism and extremism because no one wants to live in a world where fear and violence dictate our lives. And we're talking about promoting human rights and democracy around the world because everyone deserves to live in freedom and dignity. Democrats believe in a foreign policy that is grounded in diplomacy, multilateralism, and a commitment to human rights. They understand that America's strength comes not just from its military might, but also from its values and its ability to build coalitions and work with others. So if you're tired of America being the bully on the global playground, if you believe in a foreign policy that is both strong and smart, then you might want to give Democrats a closer look.
So there you have it, folks. 5 reasons why being a Democrat in 2024 might just be the way to go. From fighting for social justice to protecting our planet, from ensuring healthcare for all to promoting economic equity, from leading with diplomacy to embracing diversity, Democrats are standing up for the values that make America, well, America. They're fighting for a future where everyone has the opportunity to succeed, regardless of their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or zip code. And that's a future I think we can all get behind. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, the choice is yours. Make it count.